So this seems like an interesting video. This is, are you lazy or just burnt out? Now, I love making videos, and I'm currently at a state where I don't feel burned out and I don't feel lazy about getting up to make videos. But just in general, when it comes to laziness or being burnt out, definitely has happened to me before, and it's probably happening to you too. So this is going to be an interesting video. Let's check this out and see if we have anything to add to this. Are you lazy or just burnt out? Link in the description, join the Discord, because that's where this came from.
You get up out of your bed, you load up your assignment, you stare at the document, and then you go back to scrolling.
Uh-oh.
Does this sound familiar?
Distractions,
Because while in
bro.
this situation,
Distractions.
it's easy to start thinking negatively about yourself, labeling yourself as lazy, when in truth, you might just be burned out. And you're not wrong for feeling this way. Burnout is a very justifiable thing. Feeling overwhelmed, feeling overstimulated, feeling as if you're drowning in tasks and don't know where to begin. I've been there, and through being there, I found ways to reignite that flame underneath my work ethic and actually get my obligations finished. And I want to share that with you, because burnout is a real mental health struggle that affects most employees nowadays. And in the fast-paced world we live in, it'll get you too. However, despite its effects on your work ethic, no one's gonna care enough to rectify this for you. Not your friends, not your boss, not even your parents.
You gotta do it on your own.
It all comes down to you. But before we can jump into the main topic, we first need to distinguish true burnout from just plain old laziness. Because I don't want one of these fat slobs listening to this video covered in Cheeto dust,
I'm burnt out.
TikTok. Your mom cooks every meal for you, cleans your room, and you still yell at her. Try to relate to this video like, yeah, my life's a mess. Oh, we know, King. The tricky thing is, it's easy to confuse burnout and being lazy because they're connected. However, there's one key difference that separates the two. Frustration.
Let's talk about it. Wake your ass up. Bro, I'm gonna start watching videos at 1.25 speed. Yeah, ain't no way I couldn't do that. Every day, 5 to 6 days a week. Couldn't be me. No way, no way, no way, no how. Nope.
When you're burnt out, your life feels like a cycle, a never-ending sequence of events where you're going through the motions day to day, no achievement, no real momentum, no improvements, and therefore no fulfillment. But the thing is, you are putting in effort. However, you're not seeing the results you expect. And this over an extended period of time wears away.
Oh man,
working diminishes. This is where the root of the problem occurs, because dopamine is what drives us to pursue anything. Therefore, tasks that aren't dopaminergic have no reward. Therefore, they lose their appeal. And when that becomes translated towards things you have to do, such as schoolwork, jobs, or chores, the mere thought of doing these things makes you feel as if work consumes your life, you have no time for anything that you enjoy, and you're exhausted emotionally and physically. You become easily irritated because you feel almost forced to do these things, and you overlook your formal self. And here's where you become lazy. I liken burnout because both are accentuated by poor mental health that leads to complacency. Being in a mental rut leads you to indulge in empty calorie, quick hits of dopamine like social media, video games, and other forms of escapism to produce the dopamine you'd otherwise get from making progress in something meaningful, which leads to a snowball effect that piles on even more pressure to change your ways, which makes you feel even more overwhelmed because you know you're wasting time. But you also feel comfortable doom scrolling. And this is different from general,
which is crazy.
It's more like a habitual character trait.
I don't doom scroll. Like, if anything, I purposely limit the amount of time that I am on social media, and the only time I'm really on there is to like check out my friends or message my friends, and I try to avoid like that little button that takes you to like the open world of Instagram, and then you get like literally your whole feed, and there's like 2 or 3 different gifs. There's some that are memes, and then you got other stuff that are just girls with big butts. Try not to go there, man, because it's so easy to fall into that trap, because the 2 hours that you're going to end up spending checking out these videos and these funny memes, you're going to end up forgetting a lot of the stuff that you saw anyway. So I try and stay conscious of the fact that, hey, whenever I'm picking up this app, I am going in there for a specific reason to maybe reply to some messages, check out some stories. And that's the hard part, because it's so easy to fall into that trap of, oh, now I'm seeing something. Or maybe you have a friend that sends you memes. Like, I have friends that send me memes. I literally do not watch them. I like maybe open it up, hit the heart button, but I will not watch it because there's no point in watching it. But yeah, it's definitely super hard, and it is a trap that a lot of people fall into. So I don't blame you for falling into it. You just got to try and stay conscious and aware of the fact that, hey, that's a trick that they're trying to use on you to keep your attention.
Someone who's lazy isn't feeling any depressive symptoms or even an obligation to work. They're like human sloths. Laziness through burnout, on the other hand, is like a state of limbo between wanting to do work and feeling paralyzed where you are. Because the quick hits of dopamine you get from avoiding the task at hand are like building a dam in your brain. It doesn't get rid of the problem, it just stops those problems from flowing into your mind. And this is why it can be easy to confuse being lazy with being burned out, because laziness is a symptom of burnout. Someone from the outside looking in on someone going through this will look at the situation, see you scrolling TikTok at your desk for 3 hours, and treat your problem with the phrase, just stop being lazy. However, if you were feeling stimulated by the task you were working on, you'd have an interest in finishing it. Where the problem lies is effort with little results. And it's just basic human nature that when you come across a roadblock in the pursuit of dopamine, and you have a brick that will force feed it to you, it's obvious that you'll be at least attracted to it when you're facing a problem. However,
yes,
you
100%.
change this because you realize this state of mind is like putting a band-aid on a severed foot. So what are some solutions you can use to get back on track and even enjoy the things you'd otherwise wouldn't? Well, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna step away, maybe for a day or two, nothing too long because life does go on. And in this little break, you're gonna be bored. Really bored. Burnout is a result of work without results.
So this advice is literally just put everything down and try and focus on something else. This one is very, very difficult, and I personally wouldn't even advise it, right? Because imagine being addicted to cigarettes, right? There are some people that can quit cold turkey, but there's a lot of people that cannot. They have to like slowly wean themselves off of it. So instead of like maybe 5 cigarettes a day, they maybe slow down and go to like 3 or maybe 2, right? Or maybe they'll stop smoking in general and like go to the patches, right? Not everybody can just like put everything to the side and lock in. Like it's immensely hard to try and do something like that. But hey, if you can do it, shout outs to you because again, it's extremely difficult to do that.
Results that leads to a diminishing return of dopamine on activities. And when you make it a habit to turn to social media or video games whenever you're struggling, you're taking a brain overwhelmed with information and force feeding it more without actually getting rid of anything. And you're not allowing yourself to sit with
absolutely
the problem to solve it. And it's no wonder
absolutely true.
Levels have seen a sharp increase between Gen X and millennials. Dopamine has become more accessible than ever, and the generations that grew up with technology are suffering from it, and they don't even realize it till the screen goes out. And life comes flooding right back to you as quickly as it left. So when you're feeling burned out and overwhelmed, you need to take a step back and spend time with sources of dopamine that require little bits of effort to obtain, because that'll kick your brain back into seeking more delayed forms of gratification, which will then mentally equip you to effectively handle the task you need to complete. Read a book, exercise, talk with someone close, or even something.
That's a big thing, delayed gratification. If you can delay your gratification, you're already going to be moving in the right direction.
Something simple as taking a nap. Clear your head of all sources of stimulation and allow yourself to be bored so you can actually think of ways to overcome the hump you're currently facing. The second strategy is creating a plan for yourself. Sometimes
cry.
There's a task in the day that you feel there's no place to start. And that thought
crying's real. Do it.
Again, seek the lazy, quick stimulation forms of dopamine to distract yourself from the stress. We spent our lives being told what to do, when to do it. We follow the same schedule day to day, and all of a sudden, we're 18. We become adults and in charge of our own days. You know, mom to fold our laundry or clean our rooms for us. Got class here, got a club meeting here, got to make friends so I don't kill myself. So all the things that you need to do can get all fuzzy and up in the air. So why not use the structure that's been conditioned into you to your advantage and create a sense of authority for your life with schedules, to-do lists, and tasks you should complete. Because if you tell yourself what to do, you'll feel more in control of your situation.
100%. Like humans, we're built off making schedules. Like trying to keep track of time is literally what we do, right? People that create watches, clocks, a lot of people have all of these things built into the phone. We need schedules. So like, yeah, I wouldn't say quit cold turkey. I would say create something that'll help you out. Like, and even if you don't stay committed to it, at least like actually writing it down, like write down your schedule, not have a mental note like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 7 and I'm gonna go for a run at 8. And then I'll be back by 10 and I'll start doing some work. And then I'll take a break around 12 to eat. And then like, no, like actually write it down and commit to it. That's how you really do it. Like if you write it down, you're giving it purpose versus trying to keep it in your head, because you could always be like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come.
Than you otherwise would have been. My third and final strategy is always keeping in touch with your hobbies. The things that you really love to do, whether it's a sport, the gym, playing an instrument, anything that gets you out of your room. Because the improvement at these things that you're passionate in will give you a sense of fulfillment if nothing else does. And they provide a healthy escape from when you're feeling in a bad headspace. Because
what the hell?
Similarly to depression, it becomes easy to detach yourself from things you enjoy because it just becomes another thing added to your plate, at least in your mind. But put simply, you're probably going to procrastinate anyway, so are hobbies really that much of a waste of time? And listen, if you're someone, maybe an old head, who thinks mental health struggle isn't real and that people are getting softer, you're wrong, because the problem isn't a snowflake generation. It's a fact that our brains have been hijacked since the day we learned how to talk by a world 10 times more stimulating than the stressfulness of our day-to-day lives. However, as I said in the intro, life stops for no one or no thing. And if you fall off the course of life, you'll burn up in its trail regardless of how you're feeling. And it is clear, burnout affects your productivity, mental and physical health. So it's not like you're unjustified for feeling helpless or directionless. However, it's because of this that makes it all the more critical to recognize when you're overstimulated and to stop yourself from falling too deep down the rabbit hole. All right, that's all from me. Bye-bye.
No,
And if
so what he said at the end, like, you're not justified in feeling helpless. Like, that's 100% real because there's a lot of people that feel helpless. There's a lot of people that want to give up or maybe don't like the job that they have to do and they want to do something else. There's no justifying, being upset or having mental health, right? It's just something that you have. And I'm not trying to downplay it or anything like that. Like, if you have mental health issues, you have mental health issues, right? But it's up to each and every one of us to try and fight those battles because everybody has some type of issue. It might not be as severe as yours, but the person next to you might have it more severe than you do. You don't even know it because they keep it to themselves. Like, we all keep these things to ourselves because we all have our own issues. We all have to fight our own battles. And I applaud you if you are actually doing things in order to win your battle because it's not easy, nor is it going to be easy, nor should you expect it to be easy. Like, let's talk about people that are overweight. Okay. People want to lose weight. You got to eat healthy. You got to exercise. And a lot of people say, oh, I try. Oh, it's hard. Blase, blase. Yeah. Yeah, it is hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's the point. You want to become different. You want to change. It's not going to be easy. Nobody says it's going to be easy, right? It's just up to you whether you can get over that battle or move on with it or not. And if you can't, man, it's going to chew you up and spit you out. And if anything, it's going to make your life worse. And it's so easy to just fall back into it and be like, oh, well, since it's so hard, why even try? That's not a good mentality either, because you're just going to make your life worse and worse and worse and worse, bro. Like, you might as well bite the bullet and say, hey, I'm going to try and get better, right? Every new year, people have a New Year's resolution to get better. But by what, March or April, they already threw it away. Like, no, you got to stay committed to these things because if you start saying you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're lying to yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything. Like, and nobody else is going to take you seriously if you can't even take yourself seriously. And that's real talk from your boy KhunShawn. Yeah, this is a great video. Are you lazy or just burnt out? There's definitely a way to go from being burnt out into going into laziness because watching TikTok, whatever, all these little dopamine hits to maybe inspire you, if anything, is just making it worse and wasting your time. But there are good dopamine hits you can check out, right? I'm not sponsored, but I would say check out Alux on YouTube, right? It's a YouTube channel for people that want to become future billionaires, right? And they give legitimately good advice, even if like maybe you're the type of person that say, oh, yeah, I don't want a lot of money. I mean, sure, you don't have to want a lot of money, but that advice that's in those videos will help you out regardless. Like talking about dieting or keeping your schedule together or waking up early, right? These things are legitimately just good advice, even if you don't want to become rich. The thing is, if you do these things, you end up becoming rich. So even if you don't want to be rich, which sure, cool. I mean, there's no moral high ground for wanting to not be rich, but if you just want to become better in general, I would say check them out. There's several other channels. Like if you want to specifically exercise, I would say check out Jeff Nippert as well. He's really good and he's one of those scientific guys. So it's not just, oh, here's some workouts. It's like, here's some workouts. This is why they work. And this is why it's better than this other workout. Because even though they target the same thing, this one stretches the muscle more, which gives you more reason to actually try to exercise, especially when he starts bringing in scientific studies from doctors and all these other nutrition experts that help create a better version of you. But at the end of the day, it's always up to you. My job personally, as I feel like my job is just point you in the right direction, but it's always up to you to take that first step forward. So yeah, it's your boy KhunShawn. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys on the next one. Shout out to the Discord because that's where this came from. Link in the description if you want to drop any more awesome videos like this. I'm down to check them out. And till next time, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.